What is poppin', boys? Mock Draft 2.0 back at you again. Burbach, Duenkel, you already know the deal. Every moment matters, baby. Let's go. Mock Draft 2.0 with trades this time. That's right. That's right. That's right. I think you're going to be pretty surprised by some trades Dunkel makes. Dunkel's picks. All right. But that's besides the point. Dunkel, what's up, man?
Oh, Burbach, just feeling good on on a what is this Tuesday? So Taco Tuesday, feeling really good. Had tacos for dinner tonight. Really excited to record this mock draft with you. And like you said, man, every moment matters, and let's make this moment matter right here.
Alrighty, let's get into it. With the first overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. And I really think this guy is a home run pick right now because you've never seen a better quarterback come out of college ranked wise than Trevor Lawrence since Andrew Luck. I mean, he's been a winner since his freshman year in college when he started, and he showed that at Clemson. He possesses great size, great arm strength, and I mean, you really see the potential for him to be a franchise quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks ever. I mean, I think he could be that great.
Burbach, I completely agree with you on that Trevor Lawrence point. T Law is amazing. I'm excited to see what he can do in Jacksonville. Now, with the second pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select quarterback Zach Wilson out of BYU. Now, Zach Wilson, since last season, has flown up the draft boards. Before the season, he was projected a late first round or maybe second round pick. Now he is projected in the top five, and I have him going to the Jets here. I think it's a great fit. They need a franchise quarterback. I think Zach Wilson can be that guy. A very athletic player, very dynamic. Reminds me a lot of Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. Reminds me kind of like quarterbacks like those can throw on the run, can make plays with his legs as well. Would love this pick for the Jets right here at number two.
Yeah, I think they 100% go quarterback here after trading Sam Darnold, and we'll see what he can do with the new coaching staff. With a third pick, the San Francisco 49ers, I believe they will take quarterback Mac Jones out of Alabama. I think this is the guy that Kyle Shanahan wants, and I think you got to go with that guy that the head coach really wants and wants to be around, and what he can do with him. I mean, we will see. He got Jimmy G to the Super Bowl, and Mac Jones, great thrower of the football, throws with great anticipation, has great size. I mean, and you saw that throughout the year playing in the big games. So, Mac Jones with the third pick.
Love that pick there. I think him and Kyle Shanahan are going to be great together. I think like you made the comparison to Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan. Mac Jones reminds me a lot of Matt Ryan, more of that pro style quarterback. I think that'd be a great fit out there in San Fran. But now with the first trade in the Dunkel and Burbach mock draft 2.0, we have the Denver Broncos trading up from number 9 to number 4 to select quarterback Justin Fields from the Ohio State University. Justin Fields, can't say enough good things about him on all he's done for the Ohio State Buckeyes, but now going into the NFL, very athletic player, can make plays with his legs, can make plays with his arms. He can a lot of people have been saying he can't look off the first read. He's one of the highest people rated by Pro Football Focus on his second and third reads. Shout out Burbach for that factual info, by the way. All love, brother. But Justin Fields, yeah, love what he brings to the table, and I think Denver's a quarterback away, and I think this is their franchise guy.
Yeah, I think whoever decides to go up to 4, whether it's the football team, you have the Broncos, Patriots, I think they're really getting a great pick at number 4 with Justin Fields. Great size, great ability to throw the football. And I think that's the biggest upside pick to get him at 4, being the 4th quarterback off the board. At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. I have selecting tackle Penei Sewell out of Oregon. And I think when you turn on the film, you see how athletically gifted he is as an offensive lineman and how big he is. Like, he is set up to be a Pro Bowl offensive lineman for years to come. He might need a little bit more work than some of the other guys, but his upside is so much better than the rest of them. I think he's a can't miss pick at 5 here, being the best tackle to come off the board.
And especially providing protection for the last year's number one pick, Joe Burrow. Give him time to throw to those weapons on the outside, and Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and also Joe Mixon, great running back who can run behind a good, better offensive line than last season. Love that pick overall. But with the sixth pick in the NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. Now, kind of had a little bit of a change of heart on this pick. You know, Kyle Pitts, obviously, one of the best athletes in the class. I think Miami wouldn't go wrong picking him here. And I think that he's going to elevate their offense into being one of the top offenses in the league, possibly, depending on the development of Tua Tagovailoa, also signing Will Fuller. I think they're starting to get some weapons in there, and I think Tua's going to have a great season.
Dunkel, on the 50th episode, you you sold to me this connection that Tua and Devontae Smith have, and then you go against your word and pick Kyle Pitts. I mean, I don't blame you for picking the right guy, but you were arguing with me the whole freaking time about how they should take Devontae Smith. Whatever. All right, we're going to the 7th pick, where I have my first trade, and I have the Lions trading with the Patriots, my squad. And I believe the New England Patriots are going to take quarterback Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. I think this kid can be really good sitting behind Cam Newton. I mean, they're both big frame quarterbacks. I mean, Cam Newton's had some accuracy issues, but Trey Lance has shown some great potential in throwing the football. And coming from a pro style offense, I think he's a great choice for Bill and Josh McDaniels at this spot right here. And I don't think they'll have to give up as much to trade with the Lions as they will with the Falcons at 4.
Detroit trading down, love that. And New England trading up, getting their quarterback. Let Trey Lance sit for a year behind Cam Newton, gain some experience, gain some reps, and then bring him in year 2 and be the full-on starter. I think that is a wonderful move for the Patriots, and I like Trey Lance as a fit there. I have the Eagles trading up with Carolina, and I think that the Philadelphia Eagles, with the 8th overall pick, trading back into the first round, they will select the guy the Eagles fans have always wanted, Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU. They need a wide receiver. They need a guy that's going to go make plays on the outside. Jamar Chase is that guy, and I think he's going to be a stud in the NFL.
I think that's a great pick for Jalen Hurts, but I don't know if the Philadelphia Eagles general manager is willing to admit fault for his whiff on a pick of being Jalen Rager last year and not drafting Jamar Chase's receiver on the other side, Justin Jefferson. I mean, and Jamar Chase has shown that he could be even better than Justin Jefferson in the NFL because he broke all the SEC records at LSU. So, I mean, I think he's a can't miss pick for what team wants him. If it's the Eagles, I mean, that's great for their offense. Now at number 9, uh, the Falcons, who traded with the Denver Broncos. I have the Falcons taking cornerback Patrick Surtain out of Alabama, and I think this is the best defensive player in the draft, and I think, Dunkel, you would agree with that. He has great size, great ball skills. I mean, he's a can't miss corner, and he can play from week 1 and make Pro Bowls for the rest of his career with his ability to get physical with the receiver and his ability to flip his hips. And you don't see a lot of corners being able to tackle as well as Patrick Surtain was in college. And a similar guy that can tackle like that is Jalen Ramsey, which will really fire up a team.
Yeah, Surtain falling to 9 is really a steal. I think that in any other draft class, Burbach, I think you would agree with me on this as well. If Surtain was in any other class, without all these quarterbacks going early, I think Surtain could be a top 5 or 6 pick without question. So I think Atlanta being able to get him at 9, great move for their team. They need somebody on defense to be that number 1 corner. They also have AJ Terrell, who I think that Sertan and Terrell in that secondary would complement each other very well. With the 10th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. This is another guy, Burbach, that we've talked about extensively. A guy with very good ball skills. He can play in the slot and he can play outside. I think that the Cowboys, they need a number one corner, and I think J.C. Horn fits that bill for him. And I think he will start right away for the Dallas Cowboys and immediately impact their defense.
I agree. He's a corner who really plays aggressive football, and his ability to develop on the NFL level will probably be very well. And I think he could be the number one corner for this Dallas Cowboys team who desperately needs a corner. Um, and he'll be able to travel with that number one guy, J.C. Horn, who's really jumping up on a lot of people's draft boards now. At number 11, the New York Football Giants, I believe, will take linebacker Micah Parsons out of Penn State, who I believe is the second best defensive player in this year's draft, right behind Patrick Surtain. I mean, he's tremendous on defense. He's an insane athlete. He has a great ability to force turnovers, and his big hits are super explosive. He's great as the weak side linebacker in a 4-3, and I believe he's going to be a great linebacker for the New York Giants.
I think this fills a big need for the Giants. I think, obviously they need a guy on defense that can make plays and that can stand out. And I think Micah Parsons is that guy. And I agree with you, Burback. I think he's the second best uh, defensive player in this class. But now with the 12th pick, which is now Carolina's pick, trading down with Philadelphia, the Carolina Panthers select Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. I think this is an obvious one. The Panthers, they need offensive line. Rashawn Slater, I think, is one of the best offensive linemen we've seen in a while come out of the draft, and especially one of the better Big Ten linemen we've seen in the past few years. Obviously, some greats can have came out of there. Travis Frederick, Joe Thomas. Obviously, we can go on and on. But Rashawn Slater, I think, is amazing. I think he will fit perfectly there and give Sam Darnold a blindside protection. And also, Rashawn Slater went up against Larson Chase Young and did pretty well. So, he's won up against NFL talent before and has succeeded. So I like this pick for Carolina.
That's exactly the point I was going to make. He played Chase Young very well the entire game against Ohio State when Northwestern and Ohio State played, and I think he really showed his potential during that game. With the 13th pick, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. Sounds weird to say Los Angeles. Los Angeles Chargers take receiver Jalen Waddle out of Alabama. And I think Jalen Waddle really jumps off your screen with his explosive play ability. He has great speed, great hands, and I mean, except for a few minor injuries, I think he would be battling Jamar Chase for the number one receiver in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Waddle, like you said, Burbach, he jumps off the tape. His quickness is unbelievable. I mean, even coming off of an injury, you still see him come back and still have some explosiveness in that national championship game. That was quite incredible to watch that he could still run pretty quickly, even on a bum ankle. I think that says a lot about his toughness. I think it says a lot about his potential also. And I would love this fit with Keenan Allen on one side and Jalen Waddle on the other. But now with the 14th pick in the NFL draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Aziz Ajulari from Georgia. Burbach, me and you have talked. Aziz Ajulari jumps off the page when you watch the film. He's very physical. He gets after the quarterback. He chases you down. He plays with a lot of toughness, a lot of heart. I really would love this pick from Minnesota to pair him with Daniil Hunter. I think it'd be a great fit there in Minnesota.
I think Aziz has great speed for an edge rusher. He has an ability to put his hand in the dirt or stand up and drop back into coverage. And his pursuit on the football, on plays down the field, are top tier in this year's draft. And I think he's never going to quit on every single play. So love that pick for the Vikings right there. At 15, the Detroit Lions. I have picking Devontae Smith, receiver out of Alabama. And I know there's some size concern, but he really showed that if you put him in motion and don't let the corner or whoever's on him kind of bully him, he can be one up there with some of the best receivers in the NFL. I mean, he sits down in the soft spots, he finds the openings, the easy throws for the quarterback to make, and I think that's what makes him so good and so useful as a slot receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I love Devontae Smith, one of my favorite players in this year's draft. I think this is a great fit for the Lions. You talk about them losing Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones. They need a receiver to fill that void. Devontae Smith is that guy. Like you said, Burbach, the size is a concern, but Devontae is so quick, I don't think anyone can catch him. Literally anybody. Now, with the 16th pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. I mean, this is a great pick for them. They need to provide protection for their franchise quarterback, Kyler Murray. Need to let him be able to spread the ball around to all the great weapons that they've assembled around him. I think that this makes a lot of sense. It fills a need, all the above. Darrisaw's a great player. I think that, he can obviously go higher, but I think that, if he falls to 16, I think the Cardinals will take him.
I love the fit here in getting protection for Kyler Murray. Like you said, they traded for Rodney Hudson. Um, and I think Christian Darrisaw shows a lot of potential uh, for the Cardinals. With the 17th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders. I have taken Jeremiah Wasu-Koromoa, linebacker out of Notre Dame. And this is my favorite player in the draft, Uncle. I mean, you watch the film, he's fearless on the field. For an outside linebacker, has decent size, great in coverage and on run defense, but is one of the most violent defenders in this year's draft. And I think that's what makes him so special is his ability to make big plays.
Yeah, I think JOK reminds me a lot of Jamal Adams. Can play in the box, can play over the top. I really think that that is a great pick for the Raiders right there. I think you can't go wrong with it. But now with the 18th pick, the Miami Dolphins are trading down, and the Green Bay Packers are trading up to take a man with the 18th pick. The Green Bay Packers select Greg Newsome out of Northwestern. Burbach, one of my favorite players in this year's draft. We've talked extensively about him. Love his ball skills. Really love his versatility too. Can play the slot, can play on the opposite side, which, we do need a guy opposite Jair Alexander. I don't think Kevin Keenan is really that good. So I think that if we took Greg Newsome here, I think that would be a great pick for us. Be able to really fill that need, fill that void on defense. And I feel like our secondary could take a huge leap next season with this addition of Greg Newsome.
I think when you watch the tape on Greg Newsome, uh, he's got decent size for a corner, but he's got a terrific feel for the coverage and what the offense is coming at him with. And I think that's what makes him so great. I know the speed's a bit of a concern, but I think he'll be able to get over that with his ability to read coverage and put himself in the right spot to make a play. At 19, I have the Washington football team trading with the Baltimore Ravens. And I have the Baltimore Ravens selecting edge rusher Quiddy Pay out of Michigan. Dunkel, I know that he's from Michigan, but you've told me time and time again that he's a great player for them whenever you watch the Ohio State Michigan game or Michigan at all. He shows great ability to get after the quarterback, and he's a very fast, athletic defensive end.
This would be a perfect fit right here. Quiddy Pay, bring him in, really fill that void, fill that gap. Also, Calais Campbell getting older as well, Derek Wolf getting older as well. They really need to start getting younger along that defensive line. I think Quiddy Pay really fills that void, fills that need. And Burbach, you're right. Quiddy Pay, he's a great player, jumps off the table every time I watch him. And I think he will be a great NFL defensive end or defensive lineman, I should say. But now, with the 20th pick in the NFL draft, the Chicago Bears, or as Jake Miller would say, Bear Don, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia Tech. Got rid of Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller departed Chicago, is in Denver. Great corner. I think he would really fit that defense and fit what they want to do. I think that he can obviously play either corner one or corner two. He can even play some slot. I do. My biggest concern for him is the injuries. There's been multiple reports that he's got injury issues. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I think this guy could be a very talented player.
I think this is a great pick for the Bears at this spot, replacing Kyle Fuller. He's got great size, great ability to jam at the line, and I think his best ability when you watch some tape on him is his ability to make up ground that he's ever lost during a given play and make a play on the football. At 21, I have the Indianapolis Colts taking Joseph Asai, edge rusher out of Texas. And I think he's got great size. He showed you over the past 2 seasons that he has great pursuit and ability to get after the quarterback, and he just makes plays all over the field.
Burbach, I think this is a great pick for the Colts here. Really, he strengthens their defense even more, which was very good last year. I think you bring in Asai. He's a very good player, very hard worker, good in pursuit. I love that pick for the Colts. That's a great move. With the 22nd pick in the NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota. This is an obvious pick with the departure of Corey Davis. I think they need someone to complement A.J. Brown. I think Bateman's a great physical receiver, can make tough catches, is on the faster side too, in my opinion. I've watched him play quite a bit. I think he's underrated for his speed. I love this pick for Tennessee here, and I think Bateman could be a real difference maker in his rookie season.
I think the problem with Rashad Bateman's speed is his lack of an ability to have a second gear when he's running his routes. So maybe you'll see the Titans go after a guy in the second round like Kadarius Toney. I think a great comparison for Rashad Bateman is Juju Smith-Schuster. Uh, and I think he has a great ability to find the soft spots in the coverage or go one-on-one with the corner. At 23, I have the New York Jets taking tackle Samuel Cosme out of Texas, and he's a 3-year starter. He's shown big ability to become great upside at the left tackle position. And I know they have a left tackle, but you move him to the right tackle, like we've talked about. And I think this is a great pick for the Jets to protect their quarterback that they got at the second pick, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Burbach, just to go off of that point as well. Mekhi Becton, left tackle, Samuel Cosme, right tackle. You got two very good bookend tackles for your rookie franchise quarterback, Zach Wilson. I think that will be beneficial for his NFL career and for the Jets moving forward. With the 24th pick, this may surprise some people. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Travis Etienne, running back out of the University of Clemson. Etienne reminds me a lot of Le'Veon Bell when he was in Pittsburgh. Caught the ball very well, ran the ball in between the tackles, was very patient. Etienne, very patient running back. He can, when he sees a gap, he goes downhill right away, and he can use that speed to go through. He can also catch the ball, get out in space, and he's a dangerous runner. I love this pick for Pittsburgh, and I think it'll really elevate their offense headed into next season.
I like the Le'Veon Bell comparison, but I think an even better one is Alvin Kamara. His ability to catch the ball and hit the hole hard, as being kind of more of a smaller sized running back, with their ability to hit the hole hard and run downfield, it feels like. I think he shows great potential for the Steelers and could be great with Big Ben. At 25, I have the Jaguars taking Christian Barmore, D tackle out of Alabama. And I know this isn't a very deep defensive tackle class, Dunkel, this year, but I think this is one of the guys that the Jaguars need to go out and get. He's shown great potential, uses his hands great. He's very strong at the spot, which most defensive tackles are, but he uses his hand great, great pad level, and I think this is a great pick for the Jaguars.
What I like about Barrymore is that he can, plug up the gaps in the run game, but he can also get after the quarterback as well. I really like that about him. Not many defensive tackles can do both. Obviously, a guy I point to is Kenny Clark on the Packers. He's a guy that can get after the quarterback and plug up the run game. So I think that Barrymore would be a great pick here for the Jacksonville Jaguars at 25. With the 26th pick now, the Cleveland Browns select Xavier Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. I mean, Xavier Collins, you watch the tape, you turn it on, he jumps off it. He can play middle linebacker, he can play outside linebacker, he can play in coverage, he can rush the quarterback. He is so versatile at what he can do. A little bit less potential than JOK because I think that JOK can play safety. I don't think Xavier can, but I think Xavier would fit perfectly in the Cleveland Browns system. And they need somebody like a Xavier Collins that's a versatile player and that can make plays for that defense and really improve that to take that defense to the next level.
I think so too. I think that they signed Jadeveon Clowney to go on the other side of Myles Garrett and have two great pass rushers, and to have a linebacker in the middle like Xavier Collins who can just eat up a lot of space. He's very explosive, great in the run, great ball skills for a linebacker. I think this is a great pick for the Browns. At 27, the Ravens traded with the Washington football team. I believe the Washington football team will take Elijah Vera Tucker, guard out of USC. And I think a lot of people agree he's hands down the best guard in this year's draft. And I think he'll be a great fit for Washington, having second year running back Antonio Gibson and then bringing in Ryan Fitzmagic or Fitztragic. Dunkel will do his thing. But I think this could be a steal for the football team at this spot, getting the best guard in this year's draft.
Burbach, I mean, I love my boy Fitz Magic, man. Get that boy some protection. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, Fitz Magic. I did Burbach. I had to get that in there, man. I just had to. But uh, but I love the pick. Vera Tucker, great guard. As you mentioned, Burbach, best in the class, hands down by far. Totally agree with that statement. With the 28th pick in the NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. With the 20th pick, the Saints select Jalen Phillips out of the University of Miami. I think this is a great pick. He's a guy that plays with a big heart, plays hard every single down, every single play, gets after the quarterback. He was one of the bright spots on the Miami football team this season. They had a little bit of a down year by Miami standards, but Jalen Phillips had a great season. I think this is a great pick. And also, the Saints replaced Trey Hendrickson here with this pick.
I like this pick too. Though there are some injury concerns, I think he would go a little bit higher in this draft if that wasn't the case. But I think Phillips has a great ability to keep playing and chasing ball carriers downfield, which you see a lot of guys give up on the play. And I think Jalen Phillips just makes plays all over the field, especially as an edge rusher. He plays bigger than his position for sure. At 29, the Dolphins, who traded with the Green Bay Packers. And I believe the Dolphins are going to take Tevin Jenkins, tackle out of Oklahoma State. He's got a wide base, bends his knees great. He has great hands. His ability to stay in front of the defender and stay square is just as good as anybody in this draft. I think the Dolphins, after day one, you could be saying that they had the best draft because they got Kyle Pitts at 6 and they get the tackle that they need at 29 plus getting more picks from the Packers. I mean, it's a win-win. And I think the Dolphins could have a great draft.
Burbach, I think without question, Tevin Jenkins, perfect pick for the Miami Dolphins here. I think fits perfectly with what they want to do, and also I think too another thing to keep your eye on is Miami next season. A lot of people are saying New England, Buffalo, surefire winners in the AFCs. Don't count out the Miami Dolphins next season if they add Kyle Pitts and an offensive lineman. But now with the 30th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Gregory Rousseau from the University of Miami. I think this is a pretty obvious pick. The Bills, their weakest part of their team was pass rush all season last year. It still is this season. Jerry Hughes ain't getting any younger. Um, the Bills really need to address that before Jerry Hughes retires and before their defensive line gets even older. Got some pieces on there though, and Oliver like him, but I think Rasu and Oliver on that D line could be a really good impact to their team and their defense.
I think the Bills taking Rasu with this pick is fills a need for a star edge rusher that the Bills could be great with. And he played across Jalen Phillips, Rasu having some injury problems as well. They both got a little banged up, but he's a great pass rusher and was a great pass rusher for Miami. At 31, I have the Kansas City Chiefs taking Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. And I know this was a guy who didn't really get picked in the first mock drafts that a lot of people were going out, but you watch the film and he's a great flowing linebacker, has a head for the football. He's always around the football, and you really want a guy like that at the linebacker. And I think that'll be a great pick for the Chiefs to get that stud linebacker in the middle of the field.
Burbach, completely agree. And like the Bills, the Chiefs really need that inside linebacker presence. And I think Jamin Davis will be able to provide that for him and do it at a high level as well. Very really good at flowing to the ball as well, which a lot of people on the Chiefs are. I know you're a guy that you and your boy are kind of beefing with right now, Tyrann Mathieu. He's really good at flowing to the ball, but if they had Jamin Davis, I think that would be that definitely be a great move for the Chiefs. And with the 32nd pick in the NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Bucks, Super Bowl champions, Tom Brady for the boys, select Creed Humphrey, offensive lineman. They had a lot of offensive line injuries last season. I think that they need to get those corrected. I think they will. And I think that with this offensive line pick, it adds depth. It adds a developmental player for him. And it'll be really good.
I think there really aren't any weak points on that Buccaneers team, and just adding to that O line and getting younger and better will only do them uh, more. And drafting Tristan Wirfs last year, who looks like one of the best tackles in the league. So, all right, let us know who won the draft. I mean, I think we both had some great picks at the positions we're at. I think really it'll be interesting next Thursday, April 29th, where each team goes and where the Falcons decide to trade their pick to, if they do decide to trade up to. The Patriots, Broncos. I mean, who's going to get Justin Fields? And I think that's going to be the story of the draft. Next week, April 29th, we're going to be having a live show. Me, Duenkel, Jakey Mueller. We're going to be looking all snazzy for the draft. You already know the deal. That's right. Go check that out, the live draft special. Dunkel's going to have some great edits. I know he was telling me about that, so come check it out. Come through, come talk with us, what you guys think each team's going to do. And my comment question of the video: Who's going to get the 4th pick and get Justin Fields, Duenkel? That is the real question I want to know. All right, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for coming through for Mock Draft 2.0 with trades. You already know the deal. Packers aren't trading up. We all know that. Peace out.
Peace out.